Yeah. Is that what they call it these days?
Down here.
I went to a Tigers game, not this year, last year, in Detroit. And that's where I'm from Michigan. And from Detroit. And I sat down next to a guy in a chair very similar to this, some kind of rock back chair. And we struck up a conversation. And eventually, about fourth or fifth inning, the guy was over and he goes, "So where are you from?" "Well, I'm from, just north of Detroit, right over the hills." He goes, "No, you're not." "Okay." And we watching the game, and he goes, "So really, where are you from?" I told you, man, I'm from Rochester, Coast, this is northern Detroit. He goes, "No, you're not." And I was like, and so I asked, "Why did he ask me where I'm from?" And tell me, "Well, you won't tell me where you're really from." He said, "I know with your accent, you're not from Michigan." And so I literally had to pull out my driver's license and show them that I still have a Michigan driver's license. And, I spent enough time there to have one. And they said, "Well, you sound like you're from Tennessee." So, I don't know if there's anybody here that's from Tennessee, because I don't feel like I sound like I'm from Tennessee, but is that true? Do I sound like I'm from Tennessee?
No.
Where do I sound like I'm from?
The North.
See, this is the problem with being a guy who travels a lot. Nobody knows where you're from. You're not really from anywhere. You're just a gypsy. So I'm a professional.
There's more things to do. Speaking of your gypsy season, I'm not sure.
What is the 60 season?
The 38 places that we go to.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I thought you were going about my 50.
No.
All over the map.
No.
I read pretty deep into that one, didn't I?
I'm not sure where to start, but if I was in the new shoes, I want you to take me to Sunday and those last few laps, especially coming to the drive over there, and then the last couple of laps. As a fan, that was a great race.
As a driver, it was a great race. I'm glad that the fans enjoyed it because I think that in general we all gave the best we had trying to win the race. That's what it should be. It should be a go-for-broke race to finish, and I felt lucky to be a part of that one. It felt like they shot a win. The darn hell just kept coming out, but obviously Jimmy is the guy to beat right now for the points, and usually on the racetrack as well, and we gave him as much as he could handle, and he gave us as much as he could handle, and that's what happens when you got two guys that are going hard for a win.
If we would have been sitting here when we did the NASCAR preview back in January this year, and somebody would have...
What year was it?
If we would have said, "Brad, 2 races to go, you're second in points, and you're 7 points out," what would your reaction to that have been?
I wish I had 7 more points. Maybe 8, actually. And that's our goal, on those points for the next 2 races and win the championship. I feel like we can do that.
Did you expect to be this good in this position? Because when you look at some of the tracks that historically your average finish has not been that good, you throw those out the window. You go just go or so many other places that you guys have not had average finishes. So did you expect to be in this good position this year, knowing how you ended up last year?
I don't expect results. What I do expect is effort. And I expected the effort that we would produce, to where we would give it our best and find a way to succeed and persevere through adversity. And that's the only thing you can expect in sports. Because the results, there's too many variables. I'm proud that some of those variables have worked out in our favor, whether it's the rules and how they change, or how the cars evolve, or just some of the basic breaks that you catch or don't catch in racing. I look at a guy like Jeff Gordon, who has fought all the bad races this year, and it's so comical, but it's sad. And so all you can really expect is to give it your best, and to have a team that is 100% committed, as you are, hopefully, to doing your best, and the rest kind of falls where it does.
You guys haven't been short on effort. Let us know what the fans have to say. Ms. Frank Coach is here. If you've got a question, all you guys know the drill. What you got on your mind and what you want to hear from Brad advice?
What's your strategy for 2 races to go to win this championship? Are you going for wins now, or points racing, or little goals?
Well, I think to win the championship, either you're going to have to win the minimum of one of the next 2 races, or that's me or Jay. Because I feel like we can both one in the top 3 in both races. And both of us are going to have to win one of these races to have a shot at it.
Sunday, when I look at our camera, it tells you your contenders is flipping switches. What switches were they and what was the purpose?
Everyone wants to know about switches. What do you think they were?
Well, they're probably fans.
Probably.
What was the purpose to keep
It
flicking?
wouldn't be any fun if I told you. It's more fun if you guessed.
That's like a pre-race interview with him.
Did it do any good?
Oh, we were running fast.
You were.
And we were running fast enough, and they weren't hurting me. I got my little things, and so does everybody else.
Oh, okay.
What fun would it be? It's like asking a magician how they pull off the trick.
Okay.
I can understand why you want to know, but if you knew how the trick would pull off, it wouldn't be that attractive.
Pre-race interview with him.
Yeah.
You ask him a question, he'll tell you the answer at the end of the race.
I see.
That's fair. I don't know the answer to that.
I'm not asking questions because the fans want to know.
Yeah.
That's fair.
We got another one here. Maybe not one no answer.
Yeah.
What do you think about the fuel station now?
That's just like for him.
You know, mine hasn't failed since, failed in Texas, so I think it's gone 20-some races well. I'm the 2 car.
Maybe get some money back.
That's a nice thing to say.
Perfect.
It's a spin. Positive spin. Hasn't failed in 20 races.
Other questions?
Everybody got quiet on that one.
Waiting for the reporter to find you.
Yeah. Were you here last time I got in trouble for that?
Yeah, I was the one that asked you the question. Yeah. I was the one that asked you the question. Yes.
You owe him 25
Thank you, troublemakers.
Get the what's your question?
Well, I have been watching NASCAR for a long time, and, it's been a
Well,
while.
how long? How long's a long time?
Well, for me, I started at 94, and, my first race, well, actually, I started playing video games, and, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, so I started watching. But, it's been a long time since I've seen racing, like that, and I really appreciate the way you drove the car, the way you, I thought you were going to wreck, so I really appreciate how you did that, and, it's not some PC stuff, you really race hard, but I was wondering, if you would change the 2-tire strategy, that you did,
No, I felt pretty good about it. I felt like, we made all the right calls, and sometimes you make the right decisions, and things just don't work out. And you move on, and you realize there's nothing else you can do. And I felt like that was the right call, I still do.
Did you make that call or did Paul make that call?
We made it together. That's what you do things together. I actually didn't say that.
That was your preference.
Yeah, is that fair? That's fair.
That's fair.
It's kind of like a mom-dad relationship, where your kid goes up and says, can I go out and ask father,
If you have that,
Kid could ask your mother.
yeah. If you guys have a different perspective, does he tend to want to do it your way? Because you're the one sitting in the race car?
Yeah, that's so important, because without a doubt, the guy sitting behind the wheel will always have the most information because he's holding the steering wheel and he can see things as they happen. Whereas crew chiefs have to keep in mind, they don't always have the best view. They're sitting on pit road and they can only see so much of the racetrack and the race as it unfolds. So it's very difficult for them to make the most informed decision in real time. Certainly they can make the best decision of anyone when they have 2 seconds to reflect on what happened, but by then it's
People are starting to compare the relationship you and Paul have to what Chad and Jimmy have had for years. How do you describe the relationship, and while it may be different, do you agree that there's that special kind of chemistry?
Well, I think each team and each driver or team combo has their own unique relationship that's can be great, sometimes it can be bad. And much like a relationship that you would have, as a personal relationship, a driver-Christian relationship can go through ways where I think you really believe in each other at times, and you have moments where you really question each other and where you stand. And those things come over time. You build a level of trust, and then you can lose that level of trust. I think Paul and I certainly had a level of trust to begin with when we first started out, and over time it just built and it's continued to grow with success, and that could disappear tomorrow. Going through failures, and if we question each other and lose that trust. But it's something that, as a driver, I've been a part of those relationships when they didn't work out, when you didn't trust that person, when that guy came over the radio and said, hey, we're going to do this, and the first thing went through your head is, oh my God, that's not going to work. And you know what, if you don't believe it's going to work, it's probably not going to work, even if it is the right call. So, those relationships are something that I don't take for granted, and I feel very lucky to have Paul and to have, the faith and trust that we have each other for.
Another question?
A while back, you said your most memorable or unusual experience with a NASCAR fan involved a baby in a beer bucket.
Yeah, at the time it did, yeah.
Have you had anything since?
Yeah, I had this this weekend. I was practicing in my car, and I got out of the car and I grabbed my hat, put it on, and they made an adjustment on my car, and it took about 10, 15 minutes. And so I walked away and came back, and I was ready to begin, and it was one of those hurries. There was like 10 minutes of practice left, and it takes me about 3 minutes and 40 seconds to get in the car. I'm timed it. And so that means I'm going to get back on the track with about 5 minutes of practice left, which is very valuable. So I'm putting on my helmet, and I'm putting in my earbuds and all that, and I took off my hat, and I sat on the car, and I'm ready to get in it, and I see my hat there, and so I tossed it on top of the pit box. So I tossed on top of this pit box, and right about that time, Jimmy and I were both getting back into our cars to make our run. And a bunch of fans had started to hang around our garage area and our toolboxes where I flung my hat. It was on top of the toolbox. That's where I always keep my hat, on top of the toolbox. It's never in anybody's way, it's on top of the toolbox. So I go out and make my run, and I pull back in, and my hat's gone. Where's my hat go? And so I'm walking around, and media's chasing around, they want me to do an interview, and my hair, it's all over, it's crazy. I'm sweating, so it's got that weird look to it. I've got no head. And I think somebody stole my hat. And I lose things a lot. I lose my car keys, I lose my wallet, I lose things a lot. So, people that lose things a lot always say the same thing. Somebody stole my blah, blah, blah. But it's not, someone really didn't steal it. And so I told my guy that, and I got another hat eventually. And I get back, and we do our practice series where we start talking about our cars. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but sometimes I go really long-winded when I'm talking about my car. And the guys that I'm talking about really kind of trail off and they stop listening. And we always get this really awkward pause in our conversation where I've just spoke for like 5 minutes and gone into like 20 different topics. And I get done and they just look at me and go, okay. And so it did this awkward pause happen. So I go out and get out my phone and I'm going to play around on Twitter until they actually answer back anything I just said. And I pull it up, and the first tweet was from someone who wrote me and said, hey Brad, I just took your hat, thank you. And so I busted out laughing after I just did this serious talk and nobody answered. So it just really added to the awkward conversation that we were already having. So, And as luck would have it, the person stole my hat, got my hat, whatever it is. Throw me more hats, how about that? I wasn't proud of it, but somebody stole my hat either way. And so, before the race happened, I'm going to get in my car. This is literally like right before the race starts. And again, there's fans standing around the cars and so forth, and I'm going to grab my helmet and put my earbuds on, do all those same things again. And this girl comes walking up with a tag, goes, "Hey Brad, I'm the girl that stole your hat the other day. Can you sign it?" And that's my main story. I just thought it was pretty incredible that someone would, one, figure your hat, two, go on Twitter and tell you they stole your hat. And then three, walk up to you and be like, "Hey, right before you get in the car to race for championship, can you sign this hat I just stole from you and told you about yesterday?"
Did you sign it? Did you sign it?
I didn't sign it. That's wrong. I think I should have signed it. Yeah, I mean, there are
Let me ask that question.
Yeah,
Every
you should have signed it.
session. That might be the best story we've heard. What do y'all think this year?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But I'm telling the story because I wonder, should I sign it? I don't think I should.
You should have signed it, Juan Pablo.
You know, it's almost perfect that Joe the Cow is going to be my teammate next year because I walk around places and I don't think I look a lot like Joey. But people always call me Joey. I don't know why. Even when I'm wearing my fire suit. And it's like, Joey. So somebody came running up to me one time and said, Joey, you've got to sign this for me. And they handed me one of his titles. So I signed it. Joey the Guy. I didn't want to let the guy down. He asked for Joey's signature. He got it. I think it's true. Maybe there's a lot of things I can tell that. Which one?
We let them sign the 99 roof fence.
Oh, that's one block.
Other than that,
Yeah, I probably should. You know, it's kind of hard for me to sit up here and talk, looking at these cars. You know, I've never seen that car before. I'm going to have to go look at it when we get done here. But that is phenomenal.
That's Mike Armstrong.
That's just how he finished the race.
That's how he finished the race.
Wow.
Video on it, and he got out and pulled the hose away, and then Jeff went out of his truck.
Oh, really? I was at that race. Yeah, I was there, you know. I know. Story good time.
That's why we're here.
It was 2000, and it was my first time ever to Daytona. My first time was that race right there. And, well, let me take that back. I've gone to Daytona once when I was really little, but, well, I couldn't remember, so I'm not counting that one. But I went to Daytona in 2000 with my family, who had a NASCAR Truck Series team with Dennis Etcher driving, and he ran that race. And I wasn't old enough to be in the pit. But my parents weren't dragging me all the way to Florida from Michigan just for me to sit around and not do anything all day. So they made me be a scorer. And at that time, NASCAR had scorers, which were people that were, they ran the backup system in case the electronics went down. And they actually would write down a number and let you know when your car went bad. And that was the backup system at the time. So I scored in that race for the Truck Series in 2000. And the score stand at that time was right at the flagman. And so our truck went by, and I wrote the number down, and I saw Jeff Dragon. And I thought, oh my God, there's no way he lived through that. And there's no way. I thought more than just him. I mean, I saw so many stands that got hurt or killed. It was just an incredible moment. And, you know, it shows, you know, how dangerous racing really can be when you turn your back on safety. And those things can happen. So it's incredible. Yeah, I was at that race. I saw that wrecking happen probably 100, 150 yards from me.
It was an amazing one. I had to encounter Jeff's girlfriend on pit road that particular day.
Wow.
And I couldn't give her any.
Who was dating at that time?
I got the picture, but I cannot remember.
He went through a secret date like Tanya Tucker.
I remember that. It was not Tanya, but it was a I was very fortunate that within about 50 yards, I encountered somebody from Motor Racing Outreach, which is the ministry that travels with us, and they were a whole lot better equipped to handle that situation. But I was concerned. I couldn't give her any encouragement because of what you said. It didn't look good, but you know, if you watch the video, when you finally tell it was okay when he moved his mask around, he had oxygen mask.
Okay, yeah, he had it down, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
And he moved his mask and knew that he was okay. But, you know, it reminds me of how safe these cars have been. And Bill Parsons from, I think that's 1987, if memory serves me correct, that,
Where was that car right there?
at Talladega.
LA. Wow. And that one's Michael McDowell from Texas.
That's correct.
We're giving history of here. I'm sure you guys already looked at all of it. I was at the track when that happened too, in Texas. I just started driving for Dale Jr. And if I remember right, Dale Jr. sat on his pole that day. Because I just started driving for Dale. And I pulled in the garage area because Nationwide was not on track that day. And all I heard was this loud thud and it got quiet for like 20 minutes. And I wasn't by the TV, I didn't know what had happened. And then I saw the replay and wow. That was phenomenal. Phenomenal that you survived that one.
Yep. Another question.
When you were driving for juniors, what would be your best memory, or, you know, what you missed driving with?
My best memory. There's a couple, I can't share them all. I think when I drove for Dale, this is a great part. You might find this funny or noteworthy. I thought this was really kind of strange and smart at the same time. You made me sign this contract that said I would never write a book about the experiences we had together. That was really funny. I don't know why, but it just reminds me of that for some reason. But I guess you didn't take a talk about it, did you?
No.
Let's see. My favorite day is what happened the first day I moved down. I moved down literally to North Carolina on July 4th, 2007, and I had no idea what to expect. I've been driving some truck series stuff for some random teams, a little bit nationwide for some really back marker teams. They were all out of different areas. The nationwide team I was driving for was out of Kentucky, and so I spent some time there. I spent time everywhere, really. I mean, I went through a stint there. I was talking to Bill over here when I was in St. Louis right before that. And so I moved to Morrisville there, and I moved out to Dale's property. He had this guest house. He still has to this day. And at that time, I think Jeremy McGrath was living in it. He was driving his cars. And so he let me stay in his guest house. And so it was July 4th. And here I am in this guest house. Don't know where I am. I don't have a car. I don't have anything. I don't have any money. And they decided they're going to throw a party. And that was my first night. My first night in Morrisville was a welcome to Drive for Dale Jr. We're having a party. And that was it. It was a July 4th party. And they must have bought, I don't know, $2 or $3 grand worth of fireworks and shot them off. Made a mess and invited a lot of really good looking girls over. So I thought, man, I have made it. That was my favorite Dale Jr. memory. My favorite thing is fireworks, good looking girls, and racing. Like, this is happening.
Welcome to the
Yeah, I didn't really care.
Well, if you find those 8 points, sprint NASCAR is a big party for you in Las Vegas. But win or lose, win or come in second, you had a hell of a year. Congratulations on the great year. Good luck the next couple of weeks. Thanks for being here.